Kirby Liesmann, and this is my story.
You might see me in the streets, but you don't know me. Might look like a people don't sell sympathy.
I think competing for me has just been something that's always pushed me. I'll go to a contest and I'll see, you know, what the guys in my heat are doing and the guys who are beating me, and I'll go home with a, you know, an extra boost of a drive to go and learn these tricks and to get to the level that I need to be competitive. And just that burning passion for the sport and just seeing where I want to be and where I want to get in the, as far as the rankings go and stuff, has just really driven me to be the best I can on a wakeboard.
Running up in these streets, gotta keep riding this way, that way, and keep riding, gotta keep running up in these streets.
You know, it was actually you know, probably quite a bit different than most of the pro athletes, how I kind of came into the sport. You know, I didn't live on a lake or anything. We lived probably about 2 hours from the lake that I would wakeboard or ski at, and we would just go there on vacations or, you know, long weekends. We had a 27-foot Baja, so it was a serious boat, you know. And my dad, you know, being like the craftsman he created this pylon and then took like strap ties and tied it down on the back and the front, these big orange strap ties, so people knew who we were with this power boat and rig tower. And I learned a couple flips on that. You know, it was like, okay, this is getting even more fun. And so then we realized that, you know, I wanted to do it competitively, so I tried a couple contests and enjoyed it. But, I mean, it was probably just the help of the shop I was riding for or through at that time. You know, they took interest in me, and they had clinics pretty much throughout the summer, and Sean Murray came through town with his backyard tour at that time, and it was neat for me to be involved in those things and just kind of see what the life of a professional wakeboarder looks like. I would watch videos and cruise through the magazine and see all the tricks guys are doing, and it's like, you know, looking at it as, you know, this could be something I could do if I put my mind to it and was really dedicated, and, you know, found myself just chasing that dream. Everything I did, I just wanted the attention of other people, especially the car I drove. You know, I built this custom mini truck, and everything about it is just, boom, I just want to catch your attention, you know. Look at me now kind of style, and it's bright orange with green flames, and I mean, it's everything about me, because I just want to be bright and colorful and, you know, and positive and stuff. But I think I was, you know, thinking about that, I was actually building it to capture the attention and the acceptance of people, you know, saying, look what I've done, look how much work I've put into this. I really was driven by things that weren't spiritual, that weren't good, you know. And a lot of my issues that I had were just sexual immorality. It was a huge thing for me. And I guess, is that what it's called? Is that the right label for it? But that was something that consumed my life. I think the thing that was the most painful about it was that I knew it was wrong all along. You know, I always knew what Christ wanted for me. You know, I knew He didn't want me involved in those things, yet I still thought that I had to have it to be myself or be what I thought I needed to be. I didn't think I was going to be accepted in the relationships that I was in unless I was having sex, or unless those were the things that made the relationships click.
Wanna run from all my problems, but it won't solve anything because my idols work full time.
I found it hard to pursue God as I was doing these things. I was living that way, and people would call me out on it. They're like, how can you claim to be this Christian and say that you're following Christ and want to go to church when the night before you're out, living trying to hook up with girls. It was just dumb that I let that part of my life rule everything else, After being in high school, I made a decision to really pursue this professional wakeboarding career, and I decided to move to Orlando, and I got tied in with the Radical Riders crew with Rob and Michelle, and they took me in and gave me a place to stay, and it was the first time I moved away from home, so I'm sure if they see this, they'll say, I remember that boy, and he sure did leave the toilet seat up a lot. So it was tough, away from home, and I have all these habits and things that I've done my whole life, so I was like, really brought me out of my comfort zone, and they brought me out of my comfort zone in faith as well, because they really pushed me to dig deeper in my faith and what I knew what it was at that time. Because at that time, my faith was really just something that I knew I was a Christian, I knew I should behave this way, but sometimes I don't, and I accepted that. But although when I lived with them, they taught me how to be in the Bible and study God's Word and how to have a small group. We worked through a little booklet. It was just called the Radical Challenge, and that was something that just really expanded my faith and just where I was at with God at that time. Like at that turning point, I had to stop the way I was living in the relationship I was in and say, I'm not going to have sex anymore. We're going to wait until we're married. I had to pitch out the pornography that I had in my life, and then I never realized how much that stuff controlled my mind until I was at like a contest and realized like, wow, I don't have to look at the other girls. And not that it's not a struggle, there's other girls around, but just realizing that that's not what I have to do anymore, I mean, now I just view women totally different.
To wake up, can't you feel the sun shining on us? So many gifts in you, and it comes from love, It's knocking, can't you hear? Open up now, don't be scared. To win, you have to fail. Throw one in the air, There's so much inside you, you don't even realize you need to let it shine. Walk out in his footsteps, only breathe life, only look to the sky.
Where I've came from this year, I mean, I would almost call it my, spiritual rebirth. God's just helped me cut those things out of my life, and I feel like I'm walking a whole new path now. And it's allowed me to see everything I do in my life different and more clear. My life this year, living on the pro tour, was unique. I mean, I was focused. I was driven by, living as straight a path as I could, but accomplishing as much as I could in a small window. By doing both my wakeboarding school and competing professionally, it's opened up so many doors to reach out to, whether it's kids or people I'm doing lessons to, or just people who I happen to be around on tour, whether it's friends or fellow competitors, or just someone who comes up at a contest and says something different about you. Then they find out you compete, and then they look into who you are and they realize this person must be a Christian. And that's just been something I've seen a whole lot more of this summer, because I've made these changes in my life, and it's made it the best summer of my life by far.
I'm just not enough. Gotta get on up. I am when you're on the limb, Whoa, 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 Gotta search yourself, gotta find what lives inside you. Don't rely on yourself, he'll hold you up, hold you up. If we're all made in his image and we need that build and create and finish. If it's really of the Lord, then he'll establish, it'll happen. Sometimes I feel like